Hello friends, welcome to our channel. I hope you are all in a very good health and studying well with your full focus. Thank you for joining me. Today in our physics class, we are going to discuss about the factors affecting delta. Delta is the angle of deviation, total angle of deviation when a ray of light passes through a prism. So you can see I have written the factors that can affect delta. Number 1, the angle of incidence. Number 2, the refractive index of the material of the prism. Number 3, angle of prism. And number 4, wavelength of light used. Now we are going to elaborate it a bit. Our first point is dependence of delta on the angle of incidence. It is experimentally observed that as the angle of incidence increases, delta first decreases and attains or reaches a minimum value for a certain angle of incidence. And after that, if we further increase the angle of incidence, delta starts to increase. Now, if we draw a graph, in this graph, we have plotted I in the x-axis and delta in the y-axis, and the graph looks like this. For different angle of incidence, we will get different delta, and if we plot those values in a graph paper, we will get this kind of a curve where we are getting a minimum value of delta. Corresponding to a specific angle of incidence. Okay, this value of delta can be called delta mean. The position of the prism with respect to the incident ray at which the incident ray suffers minimum deviation is called the position of minimum deviation. we can see that for a specific value of delta, let us assume this value of delta. If we draw a line parallel to the x-axis, this line can cut the curve into 2 points. So for a specific value of delta, we are getting two values of angle of incidence. Let us call it I1 and this is I2. Okay, only at the position of minimum deviation for a specific value of delta mean, we are getting only one value of angle of incidence. Okay, so in this case, the angle of incidence and the angle of emergence becomes equal. For delta mean, we are only getting one value of I. At other points of this curve, for a specific value of delta, we will get two values of I, I1 and I2. For a specific value of delta, we are getting two angle of incidence. Okay. At the position of minimum deviation, angle of incidence, that is I1, is equal to angle of emergence, that is I2, and these two angles are equal. Let us call it I. So at the position of minimum deviation, okay, I1 and I2 are equal, and the refracted ray inside the prism is parallel to the base of the prism. The refracted ray inside the prism is parallel to the base of the prism. If it is an equilateral prism. for a given angle of incidence so the prism with higher refractive index will produce a higher deviation than the prism with lower refractive index. Number 3. Dependence of delta on the angle of prism. Angle of deviation increases with the increase of angle of prism. Dependence dependence of delta on the wavelength of light. Delta decreases with the increase in lambda. Delta decreases with an increase in wavelength. Okay, friends, that's all for today.